Hi preschoolers and grown-ups, this is teacher LeAnn. Today for our art and craft activity we're going to make some coffee filter snowflakes. So back in the fall we made some leaf coffee filter with the same kind of design where it sort of turns into tie-dye. So since it's winter now, we're going to practice making it with snowflakes. So I'll hang mine back here so you can see what a finished snowflake could look like, but every snowflake is a little bit different, so I'm sure yours is going to have different colors or different designs on it, and I can't wait to see them. So for this activity, you need a coffee filter. In your education packet, this coming week you'll get a really big one. Mine is like the average size coffee filter. We have some humongous ones at school that we're going to send home with you. So you can use that one, or if you want to do this craft a couple times, you can also ask mom and dad if you can use some of theirs. You also need some markers to color your coffee filter. I have a little bowl of water too. If you have a squirt bottle, an empty squirt bottle like what your window cleaner comes in, you could use that. I didn't have an empty one, so I'm going to improvise and do it a little bit differently with my glass of water. You also need scissors to cut out your snowflake, and I'm going to use a plate just so when I'm coloring and when I'm spraying my water on it, I have a plate to work with. So let's get started. My first step and your first step is going to be to color your snowflake. So I have lots of different colors here. You could just use one, but I'm going to try to use lots and lots of colors. So let's see. I'll start with my dark blue. I'll show you here. It's a little bit closer than my board behind me. So I'll do a squiggle line here, another squiggle line here. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because I'm going to be kind of flicking some water onto it, so all the colors are going to run anyway. I just want to have a couple different designs and different shapes, so that way my design isn't just boring blue. It has some other stuff going on too. So I'll grab my yellow, and I'm going to add maybe some zigzags. I kind of had a squirrel line here. I'm going to add a zigzag now. Zigzag in the middle, another zigzag here, and one more zigzag over there. So far I've got 2 colors. I'm going to try to add 5. So I've done 2, and I need to get to 5, so I need to do 3 more colors. I'll do a purple next, just dark purple. I think I'll add some polka dots, maybe around my yellow zigzag. Purple polka dots right along there. Some more along here. And some up there. Okay, so I've used 3 colors. I want to use 2 more. How about I add some orange? And I'll do maybe a zigzag line over top of my swirly blue line. So zigzag on top of that one. Another zigzag on that one. Good, and I think I'm missing some green. Green's my favorite color, so usually if I do color something, I always add a little bit of green to it. So I think for green, I'm just going to add some more polka dots around the side of it. Right there on the edge of my snowflake. Perfect, so I have tons of colors on there, which looks super cool. Next, I'm going to get my markers out of the way so I have more space to work. I'm going to start by flicking some water. So I just have a little bowl of water, a little kind of cooking cup. Again, if you have a squirt bottle, you can just spray and it's really simple. For this, I'm just going to dip my fingers in it and just flick, 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 flick. And it kind of does the same thing that squirt bottle would do, but I didn't have to get a squirt bottle or empty out one that I already had full of stuff. So I can already see here that my blue is kind of dripping down and moving, and so is my yellow. So I'm going to keep adding water, keep flicking water on my plate until my entire coffee filter and all of the colors have kind of ran together. That's why this plate is nice. If you do this on your lap, then all of the stuff on the bottom side of the filter is going to run onto your lap or your sofa or wherever you're working. So that's why I like the plate. It's kind of a nice easy thing to clean up when you're all finished flicking water onto your snowflake, or soon-to-be snowflake. So add lots of water here. when you do it, your snowflake plate will be flat, so it's not going to quite run as much as mine is right now. But as I'm trying to demonstrate it to you, it's running a little more than normal. Okay, I think I've got it mostly all wet. Perfect. So I'll move my water over. Should look something kind of sort of like that, where you can see how all the colors, my zigzag got a lot bigger, huh? It moved around a little bit. My polka dots moved around, and that blue has just moved all the way from there down to there. Oh my gosh. So now, once you have your coffee filter and your design all nice and wet with your water flicks, you're gonna put it aside for a little while and let it dry. I let mine dry, the one I'm gonna show you next, overnight, but I think probably a couple hours with this. Maybe leave it in the windowsill. If we get some sunny weather, it can dry faster, just as long as it's dry. Otherwise, you're gonna be working with kind of mush paper, and you can't cut that, can you? So last night, I made this snowflake to show you the next step, right? So our first step was coloring, our second step was getting it a little bit wet, and our third step, after it's dried, is to cut out our snowflake. So I'll take this dry coffee filter, and this one I used some different colors, right? I used some blue, and I used some orange, and I used some green too, and I think I used some yellow, I just can't really see it anymore. So I'll fold it in half, right? So you have your circle. I'm gonna fold it in half. That's one fold. I'm gonna fold it again. So I have two folds, and I'm gonna fold it actually one more time. So it's like a skinny piece of pie. And this paper is a little bit easier to cut than regular computer paper, so if you want to, you can even fold it over another time. It just gets a little bit harder to cut with scissors because the paper gets thicker every time that you fold it. So let's try to do it one more time. Great. And now is my favorite part of making snowflakes, all the designs I can cut into it. I always cut off this tip because I like my snowflake to have a circle middle. So I cut a little shape in the middle, boop. And then I'm gonna add some triangles along this edge here. So I'll do one triangle. One triangle. Be really careful, right? I have my holding hand and my cutting hand, so using my holding hand, I'm going to turn my paper around so I don't snip anything or my fingers. And another triangle there. I think I can fit one more triangle. Let's see. Yep, a nice tall skinny one. And on the edge here, I'm going to do a wave. So just a little kind of wave here. And then I have one more edge right here that I'm gonna do some sort of circles. It's really hard for me to cut out circles, but I'll do my best. So there's, oh gosh. There's one sort of circle. And what's nice about snowflakes, even if your shapes aren't exactly what you thought they'd be, I've never seen a snowflake turn out bad. Even when you think you make a mistake, I think it turns out great. All right, so now I cut out some sort of circles. They're kind of like circle squares. I think that's all I can fit on here. So this is my finished snowflake that I haven't opened up yet. So our first step was to color, right? Our second step is to flick water or spray water. Third step is to let that dry. Mine's still drying. Fourth step is to cut out your snowflake. And the fifth and final and most fun step is to unfold it. So we get to reveal our snowflake. How cool. Oh, so pretty. So these are nice because they'll catch a lot of light in your windowsill or your sliding glass door. So I have my two now. So I'll try to send home 2 or 3 of the big coffee filters so your snowflakes will be ginormous. And you can always, of course, use Mom and Dad's. I can't wait to see your snowflakes in our Zoom meetings. And I hope you have a great day, preschoolers. See you soon.